This week on Mountain Bike Chronicles, we head to Val Di Sole for the final World Cup of the season. There, Aaron Gwin hopes to make mountain bike history, and we visit Wade Simmons to talk to him about when he changed mountain bike history at the Merino Gap. Prior to this year, Aaron Gwin had never won a World Cup. All changed in St. Peter Maritzburg when he beat veterans Greg Minnaar and G. Atherton at the first World Cup of the season.
It was cool to get the first one out of the way at the first race in South Africa.
That was the beginning of Gwin's domination.
My goal last year was just to be top 5 in the overall. So this year, my goal is just to win races. You know, I'm not really thinking about the overall at all. I just want to just win some races and, I guess, race in a way that you kind of put it all out there and kind of go for it and not try to be conservative, because I was kicking myself a lot last year where I crossed the finish line knowing that I had more time up there, but I just kind of was riding a little bit hesitant to make sure I stayed up and got the points and whatever, and I just don't want to do that this year. I kind of want to go for it every race.
He's gone on to win 4 of 6 races so far this year. An amazing feat, as no rider has ever won 5 races in a single year. Gwin hopes to change that at Val Di Sole this weekend. We're in Trentino, Northern Italy for the 7th and final UCI downhill race of the season, with these last points deciding the season-long leaderboard shuffle. The pressure is on.
Greg's running 220 rotors just so they don't overheat, just because this track is so steep. Organic pads because it's hot out and it's 37 degrees Celsius today. And it's been really fun, probably the funnest race yet.
The young guys have made 2011 a season to remember, pushing the veterans to new limits. Already with 4 wins, Gwin has first place in the bag. He has a chance to join an elite group with a 5th win in a season. But the real estate of the rest of the podium is still in high demand. With roots and rocks at every tight turn, the Val Di Sole track is sure to make the season finale interesting. As Gwin tries to change mountain biking by winning 5 races in a year, freeride legend Wade Simmons changed mountain biking culture in 2001 when he landed the Merino Gap in California.
That was definitely the turning point for my life, for sure, in mountain biking. Everyone was pushing the height, and then it was like, oh, there's this big air, talking to Phosphate and you, like, oh my God, Merino Valley, it's happening, you know what I mean? And I went there, and it was, honestly, it was like, oh, it's like, okay, it's no problem. It was kind of the natural progression of mountain biking for me.
And was this your first shoot with New World?
It was, I think. Well, I won the Rampage the year before, I think. And this was, I think we shot this in spring. And, Jesus. That is awesome, look at that. That was so cool. Yeah,
And that's
so 7 years, 7 years.
That still holds its own today, no doubt.
Well, just walking up the trails today was like some of the stuff, you're like, that's, I mean, not much has changed when you think about it. Well, was this it? We're lost. We've been like in 3 drainages now looking for the stuff. I have 5 years of segments in these drainages, and it's like, it's hard to remember where they all are. That might be that log right there, but that log was broken, so I don't think it's that one. We'll find her. I mean, how many creeks can there be? That was my highlights, man. Really coming to Nelson and riding that stuff. Working with Riley, because Riley is a fantastic trail builder. He used to, we create some perfect stuff. This is the one, old trail. Oh, she's falling apart, eh? This is freaking me out, man. Like, we're going 16 higher up there. It's just sketchy, and if this was a stunt today, I don't think I'd hit that. Like, just look how exposed you are. It was like, oh my god. Come back to this, you're like, it doesn't seem that it was that gnarly. But you come here, you're like, that was pretty gnarly, and you don't remember being scared. I want to be remembered as a trail rider. I want to remember as a mountain biker who did it just for fun, you know?
Gwyn's biggest loss came at the legendary Fort William track. He had won qualifying the day before and was 5 seconds up on his race run.
And then pretty much right near the bottom on one of the easier sections, I just slid out in a corner trying to push a little bit too hard. And that was that. Pretty much I lost the gap that I had going on everybody else, and ended up getting 5th.
A devastating result. But this fueled the fire within and began his 3-race win streak at Leogang, Mont Saint Anne, and Windham. Gwyn has been battling Atherton all year. His run at Val Di Sole is up next. It's been a grueling hot week of practice, but the guys aren't ready to let up just yet. Last year's tour winner, G. Atherton, hopes a win here can bump him up to 2nd place overall.
Yeah, it's definitely a track I enjoy. You know, I've had good results here in the past, but you don't put absolutely everything on the line on this track, then, you know, that all counts for nothing, really.
G. Atherton clearly wants to make an impact and show that he's still a force on the hill. He takes the early hot seat. '10 World Juniors winner and current junior leader Troy Brosnan is already a top 20 rider on the Elite Tour and hoping to crack the top 10.
Trying to not ride over your head straight away because the track could come out and bite you any second, and just got to keep an open mind and keep the season rolling on strong.
His run can't top Atherton, but puts him in 2nd and seals his 2nd consecutive junior title. As Gwyn prepares for his race run at Val Di Sole, he reflects on his most successful season to date.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy adventure. It's always those last few weeks kind of grinding down the end of the season. I think everybody gets a little tired and got some lingering injuries and stuff. You're just ready to get home and chill for a bit. So it's been a really fun year. Can't believe how it's moved along. It's definitely a blessing, and man, yeah, it's kind of, when I think about it, it's hard to put it into words because it's just it's happened quickly.
The race day's coming to an end, and it's taken no prisoners. Danny Hart steps up. Already in 5th, he's hoping to stay on the podium until the end.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard race because everyone's gunning for it, so hopefully I can hold it together.
A good run here could solidify his place on the podium. He puts it all on the line and is rewarded with a convincing lead, the biggest of the day.
Yeah, Yeah, man, it was just wild. I was so nervous at the top, and well, I could see when I was going up there was fast lads coming down, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of potential coming down here, and I knew I had to push it, and I did just that. It got a bit wild in places, just got a good run together. It was great.
But Aaron Gwin, the story of the year, is not about to let up. He qualified first, and with a split time of almost 3 seconds faster than Hart, seems to be on a whole different level of riding. He loses some time in the bottom section, but manages to hold on by a second, securing his place in the downhill record books. Gwin leaves a pack in the dust with today's win, and Menard manages to edge out a second place overall. G takes third place, while Danny Hart bumps ahead of Steve Smith to fourth spot, and young Troy Brosnan's first podium finish gets him moved up to 8th place overall. Next week on Mountain Bike Chronicles, we head to Germany for the Red Bull District Ride, the last FMB World Tour event of the year.